Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver. Today we have an apocalypse game for you. And yeah, let's just get into it. We've got an okay start here. I mean, Unicorn is a fine level 2 2.0 start. It trades with most things, wins a lot of different combats. We win that one against Sphinx. Our 1-5 versus the 1-1 matches up very nicely. And we get a good level 2 shop with the Forbidden Fruit. We just get to buy 3 characters, which is fantastic for us. And yeah, we win against this Merlin on 2.1 as well, conserving our health. Always nice. Get a shrink drink with a chicken in shop, allowing us to buy the entire shop. Not that the rest of the shop is exciting. Usually like polywoggles and like cut purses and stuff. Like I try not to mess around with too much on Apocalypse, just because like your health total is so valuable. We did manage to get a cut purse slay there, which is actually very good for us. But we do take golden damage, so. A little bit of good with kind of a bad hit. So we're going to be able to take our good witch, and I think we're just going to pick up this pig. It's just, I mean, it's the most stats in the shop, and yeah, it just increases the size of our board, and I guess potential econ, of course. There's that upside. At the end of the turn, we did sell that cut purse for the health pot, though. That's why we are up 1 HP. Like I said, just because like I value my health total. I value keeping my health total high a lot on Apocalypse, especially. Get a couple pairs in this shop. I mean, they don't really add much. We're not even going to bother with the polywoggle pair again. I just don't think that we can afford to mess around with the polywoggles. We can get ahead. I mean, obviously with XP and on Apocalypse, so I think that's just a lot more valuable. We end up selling our poly for a lucky here, just hoping to get again some more econ. We do come up against a Horde Dragon who has a Wombat on 3.1 and pops out a very large stag there, and we lose another combat, dropping to 27. So started out with a couple of good combats, and we've kind of been getting demolished in the next 3. Going into 3.2, we do find our mouse triple, which is fantastic. We're definitely going to take the Forking Rod. Forking Rod, just a great utility treasure. And if we can get any kind of spell cost reduction, then we might be able to get some XP spells doubled. Specifically the end. Like if we can just get like 1 spell cost from like a Moonsong Horn or something, or like an Aeon, we can get the end doubled, which can be very valuable. We do win this combat on 3.2 against Miri, and we get our pig gold, which is very good for us. And because we forked the kidnap, we stole 2 stags, so just getting a 3 pair there for that 2 gold is really nice. Speaking of the end there, we don't get any spell cost reduction before we find it, but we still got to cast it. We're going to play our stags, of course, and we're just going to rearrange our board to try and optimize it here. I think we're going to get out of this pig. We're going to play this vulture. We've got 3 animals in the front row, so that's +9/+9. That's definitely not nothing. And there is another vulture, which we are going to pick up. So that's also, I mean, it's going to increase the size of our backline vulture as well. And then we just lock this Mix-a-Wizzle because it's a cantrip with the Cindy. It's pretty easy to obtain level 2 treasure here. There's a lot of stats on that side of the board, unfortunately. So we do take one of the pigs with us, but we do take another hit there. We're gonna go for the Good Witch pair, I think here. I mean, because we have Forking Rod, so if we can find a hat to go with our XP spells, then that can be very powerful. Okay, we didn't end up taking the pair. We just we Mix-a-Wizzled the Good Witch instead. And we do find our spell cost reduction though, and that's a Moonsong Horn. We're just gonna double party right now. We're gonna get our Cindy treasure. And I think we're just going to take Secret Stash just to try and keep our health total high. But yeah, the double gingerbread party is actually going to go a long way for us because, of course, like that's one of the few like buffs that persist through our level 6 transformation. So yeah, that's a pretty good pickup there, I would say. Unfortunately, we do lose this one. We pop our Secret Stash, but fortunately, we minimize damage. So it's kind of blunted by the Secret Stash anyways, and then we fire off a Mix-a-Wizzle on our golden vulture there, which turns into an Oni Tyrant, which is gonna be phenomenal for tempo here. Yeah, we got another level 3 treasure there, which is, I mean, unfortunately not hat or ball, but I mean, of course, if we found ball, then we're just like off to the races in mages. We ended up taking a pair of these good witches now, even though we passed one earlier. I mean, mostly because we want to find hat or ball to go with our other spell treasures. And it's still early enough that we can still get value to increase our XP. End of turn Mixables there gives us a gold Medusa, which we managed to get on the board. Unfortunately, it does get attacked into immediately. Otherwise, it would have kind of wreaked havoc on this board. But I mean, fortunately for us, this golden Oni Tyrant can kind of solo this board, anyways. Just because, I mean, this amount of stats this early is just enough to solo most boards. We could have got a level 5 treasure out of the Herc there pretty easily with that Blaze of Glory that we rolled past there. So maybe that was worth a pickup. But we do roll and we find an XP spell, and we're gonna lock it for next turn. Unfortunately, like, it's not the end, so we're not gonna be able to fork it. If we could have forked it, then obviously we'd be able to sell down and get it this turn. But we're just gonna have to wait until next turn. We have our fancy pants. We're gonna throw some extra stats on this Tweedle and play this Puff Puff and just play the strongest board we can here. Just a little bit of rearranging there, and then we've got a decently full board for our transformation next turn. Anyhow, they do get their copycat attack off with the golden book, which is a little bit unfortunate. They've got some decent sized range characters there, but fortunately for us, I mean, this is kind of one of the reasons that I don't really like Spellweaver in Copybook. The Spellweavers never get to attack because of how Copybook has to be set up. So a little bit unfortunate for them there. But that's why we like Golden Familiars work much better with Copybook anyhow. All right, we get a decent little set of 6 characters here. We've got a Good Boy, Empress P, and Hercules. We could have just snapped up that Robin Hood and went for goods here, but I think we wanted to try and find something a little better to fancy pants. Lady of the Lake, also one that we could have easily picked up. We do have a decent amount of gold, so I figured that we could spend some rolling. Unfortunately, the shops are a little bit dry here. We roll down. We get down to 6 gold, and we just take the second Boomhilda. I mean, it's a 6 pair. It also plays in front of the or behind the Empress P pretty well, and then we eventually just take out the Good Boy because I think the Doom Breath with extra power is going to be just a little bit more effective. I don't mind playing the Boomhildas, even if they're not good on a Good Boy board with Empress P, just because like P gets the Good Boy stats and then transfers it to the Boomhildas anyways. Speaking of Good Boy, we get another one, and we do get some fancy pants stats onto it, which is really nice. And now we can set ourselves up into a Good Boy comp here. And yeah, like I said, the Boomhildas are fine even without the Beauty's influence. Like, we still get a good amount of stats on them because of the Empress P collects the Good Boy stats and hands them off. We did fire off a Reckless Wager, so that's going to give us a bunch of gold. We have 18 to work with this turn, which is fantastic. And again, we're just going to roll down and try and get our Good Boy comp together here. There is another 6 pair, but we didn't really want to invest in the second Doom Breath since it's not playing on board anyways. Forking Rod the Wizard's Test onto the Good Boy also feels like a good use of our gold. +8 is definitely not nothing. Once again, shops are a little bit dry. We don't really find much to do here. Consider the Scion here again, just because it's a 6 pair, but ultimately decide against it. We do find another Good Boy, but unfortunately we don't have the gold bank to be able to triple it up here. We're just gonna have to lock it for next turn and take something out of the shop and bank that gold for next turn. That is a very large Doom Breath, which we are very fortunate to attack directly into immediately here. We get our Herc treasure now, since Herc gets all those Good Boy buffs before getting into combat itself. All right, we're definitely taking the Pandora's box. We've got some amount of health. We've got 24 health. We should be able to, even if we take a loss, we're probably not dying. So So Pandora's box definitely, like, I mean, obviously you have to be aware of how low your health total is before taking Pandora's box. Because, like, if it pops out like a Holy Grail, then that's like 2 turns you just don't have a treasure. You're just waiting to get values, and at this stage in the game, 2 turns can be forever. I think we're gonna go with the spear. Like, there's still a fair amount of combats left, I think. So like, Ivory Owl could be okay as well, and also like Mimic as like a setup piece for whatever we get out of our Holy Grail could be good. But I think we just want to get the stats online right now, and we do end up finding an Empress P at the end of the turn there, which we sell down for. Unfortunately, our good boy gets appled and then Falling Stars from this copybook player. That's a very, very large Scion they have there, and yeah, we get kind of scammed out here with these spells. We get a Fairy Queen's Wand out of our Pandora's box, which does add a bunch of stats to our board. But like, yeah, clearly we do need to get a little bit stronger, or at least get lucky against like the copybook player. We haven't seen Share Bear in a very long time, so I don't remember exactly what they're working with. But clearly they are very strong, as they're the only one healthy in the lobby now. Now that we took that big hit, we're just gonna lock for this level 6 triple. I'm gonna cast a spell and just bank a gold from the shop, free up a spot, and they are Slay. And yeah, they've got the Empress P, they've got the Lightning Dragon. Fortunately for us, they don't have Empress P, or not. They don't have like the level 5 Slay treasures. Otherwise, this would be a lot worse. But they do still beat us up pretty bad and drop us to 2. Yeah, without Evil Eye and Horn, like that, or if they'd had Evil Eye or Horn, that could have been much worse. And like they would have got a ton of scaling on their Empress P, of course. But yeah, we are alive, so we do need to get stronger, and get stronger we do. We get the triple on the Boomhilda, and we get the triple on the Echowood here. And with this treasure selection, like, I mean, as good as Mimic Horn or Mimic Spear is, I think we want to take the Phoenix Feather. Like, if we can just get a bunch of stats onto our board, then the Echowood can get very, very large, and if we can summon back 2 copies of it, then that should be enough to win most fights, like even against really strong opponents. So yeah, again, Spear can be very good. It's a great stabilization treasure, but I think we got to be thinking it's go big or go home time here. So we need to we need combats to go well. Opponents are very strong. That's a World Tree board. Fortunately for us, they don't have 9th book and they don't have Court Wizard, but they are very large. And yeah, we're seeing we're dealing with the stats into the hundreds now, even from the 4th place player. Share Bear, no surprise, knocks out the other player, so we are into a top 2 situation. We're gonna pick up the other Lady of the Lake. I mean, it's just gonna take the stats a little bit more efficiently than the Boomhilda. Like Boomhilda, like I said, we do need the Empress P to transfer stats, and they did have Lightning Dragons, so like it's possible that like we attack with the good boy and then they just use Lightning Dragon and take out our backline support that hasn't gotten stats from the Empress P yet. Find the triple for the Empress P, and there's that Lightning Dragon taking out one of our supports. Fortunately, we do get to attack with our golden good boy here. It puts a ton of stats onto our Empress P, enough for this Echowood to get large enough to tank that dragon hit pretty easily. And we take out their very, very large Echowood. They got a ton of stats onto these Yorms, but again, this Mimic Feather is just enough with these 2 very large resummoned Echowoods. So thankfully their backline wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been, again, without those Slay treasures. And yeah, our Echowoods were able to just kind of overpower them. There's a Beauty's Influence, which we are, like, we're down to 4 gold. We might as well just take it, as much as we would rather like a Pigomorph or some kind of combat spell. It's not showing up anyways. We're just gonna sell this chicken just to get a couple more looks at more characters, and unfortunately we don't find anything, so we're just gonna have to run this again with the Beauty's Influence this time. We did put the Echowood in the front just to try and avoid the Lightning Dragon, and yeah, it would have attacked directly into our Echowood if we hadn't made that swap. So yeah, that allows us to deal another big hit to this Share Bear, and pretty big hit for us there. But yeah, so basically we just need that to happen again. We do find a Pigomorph, so that's going to go a long way to helping us win this combat as well. We can just take out one of the Yorms, and we can reduce their stats drastically. Also, we find a good boy with just enough gold to sell down for it. We can sell this Minotaur that we'd banked earlier, as well as the second Lady of the Lake, and I think we're pretty happy to do that. All right, we get their River Wish Mermaid, which does reduce their scaling by a lot. They don't get any stats on Yorm from the Lightning Dragon Slays. Unfortunately, our Echowood did get scammed immediately, but again, this pick, because the pig was on the back line there, we do get enough time to get enough ranged attacks with our Lady of the Lake to come away with the victory. So the resummon on the Lady of the Lake just ends up being enough just because of the range, and yeah, we get there. Obviously, we needed to find a Soul Tack. I don't actually recall if we saw a Soul Tack that we just rolled past, but like Soul Tack would have gone a long way to fighting that Lightning Dragon. Good Boy usually has a hard time with opponents that are destroying the backline, because like if there's nothing to put those good Boy stats onto, then you can easily lose. But fortunately for us, yeah, we just had so many sources of stats, and we're able to pump our whole board in so many different ways that this Echowood was able to get big enough to carry us when it didn't get attacked into, and then we just needed a big range. Anyways, let me know if you enjoyed this. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that helps the algorithm. I would very, very much appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.